Welcome all to the conversation. Today, we have Sajjan Yadav, sir, an author and bureaucrat. He's a 1995 batch IAS officer, presently serving as Additional Secretary in the Ministry of Finance, Government of India. And his last book, India's Vaccine Growth Story, From Cowpox to Vaccine Maitri, is a national bestseller and it has been translated to Spanish and 15 Indian languages. And he concentrates on themes related to holistic development of the nation. Sir, welcome to the conversation. Today we have conversation on his latest book, Scaling Mount UPSC, Inspiring Stories of IAS Officers. And it captures the varied and relatable journeys of IAS officers from Kashmir to Kerala who surpassed all the barriers ranging from self-doubt to vulnerability with sheer grit and determination. Sir, poverty is not at all always absolute poverty. It is a loss of opportunities or being unaware of the opportunities. And this is true of entering into the IAS cadre also. And this book throws a flashlight on the opportunities in a very powerful and impactful manner. And I want to know what inspired you to write this book as a bureaucrat.
Yeah, thank you very much. So, I come from a very humble background, from a very small village. I used to work in the fields, I used to graze cattle, and then somehow with my hard work and God's grace, that I'll tell you in the second question probably, that I I became an IAS officer. It's a very tough journey, very tough exam. And I'm in the IAS since last 30 years now almost. I got selected in 1995 and this is 2025. So I have seen that many people, they are very, very intelligent students, very, very intelligent children in remote, rural, far-flung areas, or not, also in the cities also, where they don't get the opportunity, they don't get the guidance, they don't get the confidence, they don't know what the details of the exam, they lack sometimes motivation, they keep thinking that they will do very big, they will become officers or they will do very big in life. But sometimes because of all these reasons, they don't pursue their dreams. They have their dreams in their eyes, but they don't pursue them. So I thought, let me select very young officers from very, very humble background and who has just because of their hard work, because of their proper planning, because of their strategies, they have become IS officers recently by cracking the civil service examination. So I picked them up and I wanted to tell the stories of these officers through this book. And so that these stories will motivate lakhs and lakhs of students who appear every year, who are lost in the sea, how to prepare, who sometimes lose focus on their dreams, and who sometimes don't get the confidence. Like, yeah, oh, someone from IIT is doing the preparation, how will I succeed? Some so affluent people are taking coaching, how will I succeed? So, this book tells that you can succeed. And this book also tells you the strategy to succeed in the last chapter.
Sir, along with the stories of these seven inspiring officers, you also recount your personal story of scaling the Mount UPSC. So, we would like to know, sir, what inspired you to enter the service?
Yes. So, of course, as I had told you, I come from very, very humble background from normal government school and then I went to college. So, always I wanted that I should do something big. I lost my mother when I was 2 years old. So, I was kind of living with my maternal grandparents. So, and you get to know that these IAS officers, or there is a very good career if you become IAS officer, you can do a lot to the lives of people. You can do a lot for the development of the country. You can do a lot for upliftment of your own family. And you can do a lot to motivate other children, your friends, children of your family members, and etc. So as I went to college, and in the school also I was topper all along, and I went to college and in university also I get a gold medal. So that gave me that kind of a confidence. And when you go to the college, you get a bigger exposure. You see how officers are working, how they are bringing change. You get to read in the newspapers. I subscribed that time, it was Competition Success Review magazine, which was the only magazine available. So I read about those IAS officers, and I really got motivated to pursue that dream of becoming an IAS officer.
So you have chosen the inspiring stories of 7 IAS officers from Kashmir to Kerala with different backgrounds, and it concludes with the chapter "Becoming an IAS Officer: Success Mantras." Sir, we would like to know what were the criteria or preferences in choosing the representative officers, especially because this book is aimed both for motivation and guidance.
So I would say that this was selected after a lot of research. I zeroed in on these names because one, I wanted to narrate stories of the persons coming from very humble, very normal, very challenging backgrounds, because most of the students, most of the children, they come from those normal backgrounds or sometimes very, very challenging backgrounds. So that was one criteria. And I wanted to give a diverse sample of people because this book is meant for all the aspirants who want to pursue a career in IAS or in state administrative service or even in any field who has a dream and want to achieve that dream. So I went by geographical diversity, I went by gender diversity, I went by their background, and I would like to tell you that one of the officers whose story I have written in the book is son of my own maid, house help. He lived with us in that's why the title of the chapter is Leap from Servant Quarter to Bungalow. So he used to live in the servant quarters attached to my house, and he got motivated, probably seeing that what the officer's life is and what he can do, and he pursued his dream and became an IS officer. So this is the criteria for selection: people from very challenging backgrounds, very humble backgrounds, hardworking, who gave sacrificed a lot, and also from different parts of the country, including Minnu PM, who is from Trivandrum.
It's a wonderful story, sir, and thanks for that for choosing one from Kerala also. Sir, once they enter the service, it's like after scaling all this Mount UPSC, it's like they enter a base station and they have many more mounts to scale actually. Like you said, one of your titles from workman quarters to collector's bungalow and all that. So, sir, as a bureaucrat and who have been in the service for so many years and in critical positions for development of the nation and all that, have you any observations? You will have observations on what will be the guiding principles to take these people ahead in the service? What should be?
See, I believe that getting into IAS or getting into other administrative service, it is only a beginning. Though it comes with lot of hard work, and you have said rightly that it is like reaching the base camp of Everest. It is not scaling Mount Everest, but it is just like reaching the base camp. So it requires a lot of dedication, perseverance, hard work. But then the journey starts. The challenges are of different kinds. The challenge is to what you have thought. See, there are two things which motivated me and which motivates large number of people. One, obviously, you want to uplift yourself and your family. You want to get into that position of respect, of that, and a decent remuneration, salary, etc. Second, what motivates you, you can do a lot for the people of the country. You can do a lot for people who are from very similar backgrounds and who don't get that kind of opportunity or motivation. So once these people enter into IAS, and I have also written in the some sections of the book how they performed after entering into IAS, what challenges they faced. So there are a lot of challenges. You reach there, then you first posting you get an SDM or sub collector or deputy collector, it is called. So then how to deal with the media, how to deal with the press, how to make change in the lives of people, how to expedite development of your jurisdiction. And as you grow, it is very, very systematic. Then when you become collector, you get a bigger area to work in. Then you go to the state secretariat in the like you have in Thiruvananthapuram. Then you are heading a department where again you have to work very hard. You have to work harder than what you work during your preparations. You have to be honest. You have to have empathy. You have to be kind. You have to kind of be very strategic. You can plan. You can make changes in the lives of people. So, and when you come to Government of India, like I am right now in Government of India, then you get a huge canvas, and sometimes only a policy line written by you can make countrywide changes. So this is what officers have to understand, that they see this exam has lot of luck also. You would be also knowing. There are so many people like me who prepared but could not make it. They were not inferior to me, they were even equal or better than me. But there are a lot of chance factor, what questions you get, what questions are asked in the interview. So it is the God's fortune, God's blessing that you have been made an IAS officer. And you should be grateful every day to the God that God has given me this blessing. I should use it for making a difference in the lives of people. That's what my suggestion and my advice always is to people.
Okay,
Yeah.
sir. Sir, the compendium of stories actually contains one story of Mr. Lavish Odia. Even the name is ominous, sir. It's quite different from the others because he's a graduate of IIT Mumbai. He lived a luxurious life in Houston, and then came the call of the IAS, which was stronger than the corporate glitter. So I would like to know, sir, the experiences, the challenges, the conflicts to get into the system for those who come from an affluent background will be different from those who come from a moderate background. Have you any observations on that, sir?
No, first thing is Lavish initially belongs to a very, very normal background. This is a boy who lived in Udaipur with his parents, very small traders family. Then he got into, with his hard work, into IIT and went to IIT Mumbai. And he worked further hard and then got selected by Shell. Shell is a very big multinational oil company. And there he had all the luxuries of life. He was traveling in business class, he was living in five-star, he was given a credit card by the company that you can spend any amount for your food and other things when you travel. And he lived in USA, Houston for 2 years, more than two, almost 3 years. And then, but somehow he was feeling that this life is not satisfying. I cannot do anything for my community. I can't do anything for my country, though I have a fat salary. But it is just now become a number in my bank account. It is just that number is increasing, but it is not giving me motivation. So motivation, as you know, is not always money. Motivation is not always luxury. Motivation is sometimes that fulfillment, that at the end of the day when you start thinking what have you done throughout the day to make a difference, what is that which you have done throughout the day to thank God for what he has given you. And I think IAS provides that opportunity where you can very sincerely make difference to the lives of thousands of people by your hard work, by your planning, by working sincerely. And I think that is what drove Lavish, who was living in a very well luxury apartment in USA and getting very high salary. But he came back to India. He lived in a small hostel with shared accommodation, non-AC, traveled by train. And ultimately, in his first attempt itself, he got selected into IS.
Sir, IAS cadre is always known as the impartial, sensible backbone of the administration, always. And have you noticed any changes in the nature of the cadre, adjusting to the new times, new ages, or what should do this IAS cadre do to readjust or remold itself to adjust to the changing times?
I think two factors, according to me, have changed a lot. One is technology. You all know that technology has changed a lot. So earlier, what as a collector, I used to travel for days to reach my, I would say, Tehsil headquarter or Taluka headquarter. I was posted in Arunachal Pradesh for 4 years. So I used to travel on foot and go there and meet people, live with them. So that is still important. But now because of technology, one is communication with people has increased a lot. So you have to make use of that communication. Then technology in terms of artificial intelligence, in terms of working for the people, in terms of planning, in terms of delivery of services, it has changed a lot. So the new officers should definitely work and focus on technology. Second, the connectivity and even the economic status of people has undergone a change compared to the earlier times. Now we have a huge food surplus. There was a time in 70s when there was no food in the country and we were uh, depending on donated food by America, that PL 360 or some scheme. So now we have overflowing food, but now our priorities have changed. We have to work for the health. We have to work for improvement in social indices. We have to work for higher education. Earlier challenge was primary education. Challenge was when I entered service, there were total literacy campaigns and other things that you have to make people literate. And literacy just meant ability to sign, just write two, three words. No, not two, three words, two, three letters. But now the challenge is higher education. Challenge is that we have a huge demographic dividend. So how we make use of that? How do we skill people? So the field has changed. Basics remain the same. Values remain the same, but the technology has changed. Service delivery methods have changed, and the field has changed. Challenges have changed. So we have to be updated with those challenges.
Sir, after one more question, we can move on to the audience,
Right.
sir. Sir, you have held important positions in critical areas like health, census, women and child development. And you have been Mission Director of National Nutrition Mission, Director of National Rural Health Mission, and already have written a number of books on holistic development of the nation also. So, sir, please, can you share some of the experiences? Because you just mentioned in the beginning that a line of policy can change the entire outlook of the administration. So, will you please share some experiences in the developmental sector in which you were involved, which can inspire the IAS aspirants?
Yeah, there are some challenges and some memories which you always carry. And every IAS officer will tell you that what he did when he was collector. Because collector is the place where you can make maximum change. So I will also tell something which I did as a collector, which is still fresh in my mind after say 25 years. So in 1999, I I was posted as collector in one of the districts in Arunachal Pradesh. And there, when I went there, I was surprised to see that there was a slave tribe, actual slavery. So there was a dominant tribe which was called Dafla or Nishi, and there was a slave tribe which was called as Sulung. So and they were so oppressed that they were not given any money for work, they were not even given food for work, and the master used to sell their children or do whatever with them. So and the population was very big, means Arunachal there are not that massive population, but there were about 6,000 people of that tribe. So I worked for these people. I kind of constructed a separate village for them. I provided all the facilities in that village. I had a big fight with the home minister who was the local MLA there, and I kind of took out slaves from his house also. So as a result, these 5,000 people at least and their future generations, I could make some change in their lives. So I still remember that. And such opportunities are there for every officer. Somewhere it will be child marriage, somewhere it will be the poor health indices, somewhere it will be malnutrition. So there are so many other things which I have done, but it's not a forum to tell about that. More to motivate the youngsters so that they can pursue their dreams.
So great of you, sir. Sharing. So thank you for sharing this experience, actually. And now it is open to the audience. Audience can ask any if they have any queries.
Sir, my name is Pradeep. Sir, in Kerala, in rural area, I have find out so many kids and youths. They are very brilliant, but they are not able to respond within English language. Lack of their language skill, they are deprived from getting their missions. Sir, would you have any suggestions to give them? That's my first question. My second question is that now you are in a very dignitary post. You are dealing with a huge case laws and statutes. In statutes, there are languages are very complicated because we common man cannot understand what is written in the law. But here, even though you are holding such a serious matters, in here you have used a very simple language. Everyone can easily understand. How you can keep this momentum, sir?
Yeah, yeah. Okay, first is about language. See, first I will say that language, it's important to learn, but it's not a barrier in success. So I was also very poor in English. Right now I am able to speak and communicate with you in English. But initially I was very poor, and I used to translate in my mind from Hindi to English and then speak a few words. So that challenge is faced by everyone, but no language is difficult to learn. You should provide as administration or as parents that kind of opportunity to your children to work, to know the language, to learn the language. And also not only language as what you read, but also it's very important that spoken language is also very important, because that gives you that kind of confidence. Because I'll tell you from this my book only, that story of my maid servant's child. So he was, after sixth class, he was sent to a better school where everyone was talking in English and he had no clue what's to be done. And he used to get fever before the oral examination. So that kind of stress children face, and we should provide them the right opportunity to learn the language. But in success, it is not a barrier. You can, through your hard work, you can succeed both in learning the language and in your life. And second question was about how can I speak such simple language, because I don't know English. So I have somehow grasped English slowly, slowly. So I only know simple English. And I'll tell you that even knowing simple English is not bad. I have written two huge books, two big books, without knowing that much of complicated Shakespearean English. But that, and you have a very valid point that we need to have laws in very simple languages. And I think many of our laws are British laws. As we move forward, we will have better worded and correctly worded laws. So that is very, very important. Thank you.
Good afternoon, sir. I'm a medical student, so an aspiring IAS officer too, probably in future.
Wonderful.
So my question what is there a real need for medical professionals to switch into an IAS as IAS officers? And does it have what can these medical professionals do different from the other professionals who joined the IAS cadet? And is there that particular niche where we're expected to execute some changes, especially what the health sector needs? Have you ever felt a void? Or, and can you have, from your suggestion and from your experiences, what are the different things that we can do for making a better health for our community?
Oh, good question. So, just to share, because it resonated with me. So, I am also a veterinary doctor by my first degree, and I have also done a doctorate in public health from London School of Hygiene and Tropical Medicine. That was during service, sponsored by Government of India. So I think medical doctors, we have a fair representation, and medical doctors should also come into IAS. Some people say we have spent so much of money on medical education, why are you leaving? But see, one is clinical treatment. So in our country, the focus is more on clinical treatment. You get fever, you go to doctor, you prescribe a medicine and you get treated. But public health has very, very, very important role, where one vaccine drive can save thousands of people. We are all saved from COVID because of vaccine or other diseases because of vaccine. So you need qualified people also at the policy level. You also need qualified people as who have medical knowledge as collector, because there one is scientific learning during medical education. Second is also your domain learning. So if everyone up there doesn't know a thing about medicine or public health or health issues or health challenges, then I think the country will suffer. If we have a good representation of medical doctors, so it will reflect in health policies, it will reflect in other social sector policies also. So I would wish you very best that you should also become an IAS officer. And there are opportunities to work in the health department of the state, in the health department of Government of India. I have worked as director of the National Rural Health Mission, and I want to someday again work in health sector where I can make a lot of change in the health situation, health sector of the country. I can influence some more budget for health, etc. So that can also be done.
Please read us India's vaccine growth story from cowpox to vaccine Maitri. It has been translated into Spanish and many languages also. Please read. Any other questions? Yes, please.
Hello, sir. So, I'm an MBA grad. Like, I'm doing my MBA from IIM Calicut. We have a lot of peers in our in my college itself who have done UPSC or tried to do UPSC, and they've pursued MBA right now. So, what is the scope for MBA grads at policy level, or do you have plans to hire MBA grads at policy level or at administration level? Because we ultimately get placed at MNCs and we start working, but
Yes.
what is the scope there?
I would say there is immense scope because government is also management. What is the sub collector doing? Sub collector, like her, is managing the sub division or sub district. So what is our DC doing or collector doing? He is also managing. And in management, they tell you so many things. I have also done MBA from Delhi University, Faculty of Management Studies, again from during service. So they teach you leadership, they teach you strategic thinking, they teach you all the management fundas, Sigma approach, etc., just in time production and other things. So these are very much relevant in the government. Unless you have leadership skills, you can't drive and motivate your team. So I apply many of these things which are taught in the management degree, that how to motivate your teams, how to lead, how to think strategically. So these are not that theoretical things. These are in their practical application. So if you have a management degree, it's a very big advantage in that terms. But you have a management degree, then I think in selection of optional subject, I don't think management as a subject is there. You will have to select some other subject to get into IAS. But thereafter, it is all management. You learn also when you work in different capacities as sub-collector, then collector, director, secretary in the state, joint secretary in the ministry. So you keep learning, you keep getting skills. In-service trainings are also there. You can study also. But that basic knowledge of a profession which comes, that to me it has come basic knowledge of that medicine through my veterinary degree, or to you from management degree. So that is very much applicable in every field, every assignment that you will have as a IAS or state civil service officer.
Okay. We have much to ask him, but the time is over, sir. Thank you for the very inspiring, engaging conversation, and thanks to audience for the engaging questions also. Thank you.
Thank you very much and all the best.